You wake up tired, you go to sleep tired, and somehow, you still feel like you did nothing. You worked, you studied, you answered messages, you watched videos about success, you made plans, you thought about your future, but at the end of the day, you look back and think, what did I actually do today? Because you're tired, but you're not moving forward. And the strange part is, you may not be lazy, you may not need more motivation, you may simply be mentally tired. Your body is sitting in one place, but your mind is running everywhere. Your goals, your money, your work, your future, your mistakes, your plans, what you should have done yesterday, what you need to do tomorrow. And while your mind is busy thinking about everything, you struggle to do one important thing. That's how you can spend an entire day doing many things and still feel like you made no progress.
So if you've been feeling tired, but you're still not getting the results you want, stay with me, because the problem may not be that you need to work harder. The problem may be that your mind never gets a chance to focus on one thing long enough to change your life. Think about the last time you had a completely free day. No school, no work, no important appointment. You had the whole day. And you told yourself, today, I'm finally going to get things done. Maybe you wanted to read, work out, learn a skill, work on your business, or finally start that project you've been thinking about for months. The morning begins. You check your phone for a few minutes. Then you see a message. You answer it. Then you open YouTube. You watch one video, then another. Suddenly, you remember something else. You check your email. You think about your work. Then you think about your future. Then your money. Then the thing you forgot to do. And suddenly, it's evening. You look at the clock. And you ask yourself, where did the day go? You were busy, but you didn't move forward. And that feeling can be worse than physical tiredness. Because when your body is tired from hard work, you can rest, but when your mind is tired from too many thoughts, even rest doesn't feel like rest. You lie down, but your brain keeps going. You try to watch something, but you feel bad for not working. You try to work, but you feel too tired to focus. So you check your phone again, and the cycle begins.
This is where many people get stuck. They think the answer is more motivation, so they watch another motivational video. They save another quote. They make another plan. They download another app to help them get more done. And for a moment, they feel excited. Now I'm going to change. But then the excitement disappears. The plan becomes too hard. The list becomes too long. And the mind becomes tired again. So they look for something new. Another video, another plan, another way, another fresh start. But the problem was never a lack of information. You already know many of the things you need to do. You know you should probably exercise. You know you should learn useful skills. You know you should spend less time scrolling. You know you should work on your goals. You know. The problem is, knowing what to do, and actually doing it, are two very different things. And the more things you believe you should be doing, the more pressure you feel.
Imagine waking up tomorrow, and having 10 things on your mind. You need to work. You need to exercise. You need to learn something. You need to make money. You need to answer messages. You need to plan your future. You need to fix your sleep. You need to stop using your phone. You need to become more disciplined. And you need to do all of it. Right now, what happens? You feel overwhelmed. And when everything feels important, nothing gets your full attention. You start one thing, then think about another. You work for a few minutes, then check something else. You make a plan, then change the plan. You try to improve your life, but your attention is split into 100 pieces. And this is one of the biggest reasons people feel mentally tired. Not because they are doing one impossible thing, but because they keep jumping between many small things. One message, one notification, one thought, one task, one worry, one more thing to remember. Your body may be sitting at a desk, but your mind is running a marathon.
And here's the scary part. You can become tired from constantly thinking about the life you want, without actually building it. You think about starting the business. You think about learning the skill. You think about getting in shape. You think about making more money. You think about becoming successful. But thinking about it can start to feel like progress, even when nothing is changing. You plan. You search for information. You watch videos. You take notes. You create a new routine. And you feel like you are getting things done. But at the end of the day, you still haven't taken the first real step. That's when your mind becomes confused. Because you feel like you've been working all day, but your life doesn't look different. And slowly, you start to lose confidence in yourself. You say, maybe I'm lazy. Maybe I'm not disciplined. Maybe I'm just not meant to be successful. But what if that's not true? What if the real problem is that you're trying to carry too many things at once?
Think about someone who wants to become successful. They want to build a business, get in shape, read more books, make more money, learn new skills, wake up early, stop using their phone, and become more disciplined. All of these goals sound good, but trying to change everything at the same time can destroy your energy. They create the perfect plan on Monday. They wake up early, work out, read, work, learn, plan, and stay busy all day. By Friday, they're exhausted. By next week, the plan is gone. And then they say, I can't stay consistent. But maybe consistency was never the real problem. Maybe the plan was simply too heavy. Because success is not about doing everything. It's about knowing what matters most and giving it your attention. One goal, one direction, one important step, then another.
Your future is not built by doing everything. It is built by doing the right things long enough. The person who spends 6 months learning one useful skill may go further than the person who spends 6 months trying to learn 10 different skills. The person who works on one business idea may go further than the person who starts a new idea every week. The person who focuses on one goal may achieve more than the person who thinks about 20 goals every day. Because focus gives you energy, and too many distractions take it away. So maybe the reason you're exhausted is not because you are doing too much work. Maybe you are doing too much thinking. Thinking about starting, thinking about failing, thinking about what other people are doing, thinking about what you should have done yesterday, thinking about what might happen tomorrow. And while your mind is busy thinking about your life is waiting for you to actually live it.
But there is something making this even worse. Something that follows you everywhere. Something that fills every quiet moment. Something you reach for whenever life starts feeling uncomfortable. Your phone. Because the moment you feel bored, you check it. The moment you feel stressed, you check it. The moment you don't know what to do, you check it. And slowly, your brain forgets how to sit with one thought, one task, one uncomfortable moment. You keep escaping, and every time you escape, the thing you were supposed to do is still waiting for you. The goal is still waiting. The work is still waiting. The future is still waiting. And now, you're even more tired because you spent your energy avoiding the very thing that could have moved you forward. But here's where everything changes. You don't need to fix your entire life today. You don't need a perfect routine. You don't need 10 new habits. You don't need to become a completely different person tomorrow. You need to do something much simpler. You need to stop trying to carry your entire future in one day. Because the person who tries to change everything usually changes nothing. And the person who chooses one important thing and does it every day can completely change their life. But first, you have to understand why your mind keeps choosing easy things, even when you know exactly what you want. And that's where the real problem begins. But there is something making all of this even worse. Something that follows you everywhere. Something that fills every quiet moment. Something you reach for whenever life starts feeling uncomfortable. Your phone. The moment you feel bored, you check it. The moment you feel stressed, you check it. The moment something feels difficult, you check it. And slowly, your brain starts looking for an escape. Every time life asks you to focus, you sit down to work. Your phone is there. You try to read. Your phone is there. You start thinking about your future. Your phone is there. One message, one notification, one video, and suddenly, the thing you were supposed to do is still waiting for you. The goal is still waiting. The work is still waiting. The future is still waiting. But now, you're even more tired because you spent your energy avoiding the thing that could have moved you forward.
And this is why you don't always need more motivation. Sometimes, you need fewer distractions. You don't need to feel motivated to brush your teeth. You don't need to watch a motivational video before drinking water. You simply do it. But when it comes to something important, your brain starts looking for a way out. You check your phone. You get something to eat. You check one message. You search for something, anything, except the thing you said you were going to do. And then you wonder why you're tired. But avoiding something also takes energy. The work is still in your mind. The goal is still in your mind. The decision is still in your mind. You haven't finished it. You haven't started it. So your mind keeps carrying it, day after day. That's why the answer is not always a bigger plan. Sometimes, you need a simpler one. Choose one important thing, put your phone away, and give that one thing your full attention. Even for 30 minutes. 30 minutes may not sound like much, but 30 minutes every day can become hundreds of hours over a year. And hundreds of hours can change your skills, your confidence, your income, and your life. The person who works for 30 focused minutes every day will eventually pass the person who spends 10 hours making plans, but never starts. Because progress does not come from thinking about the work. It comes from doing the work. One small step, then another, then another.
But you also need to learn how to rest. Real rest, not scrolling for 3 hours, while your brain is still taking in more information. Not watching video after video, while feeling bad about everything you should be doing. Real rest means giving your mind a break. Go for a walk, sit quietly, talk to someone you care about, get some sleep. You are not a machine. You cannot keep pushing your mind all day and expect it to give you its best. Rest is not the enemy of success. Sometimes, rest is what gives you the energy to keep going. And there is one more thing that may be making you tired. Comparison. You look online and see people with more money, better bodies, bigger businesses, better homes, more success, and suddenly, your own life feels too small. You start thinking, I should be further ahead. I should have more money by now. I should be more successful. But you are comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. You are looking at their best moments and comparing them to your normal days. Of course, you feel behind, but your job is not to build your life as fast as someone else. Your job is to keep moving forward from where you are now. You don't need to be ahead of everyone. You just need to be further than you were before.
So starting today, stop asking yourself, how can I do everything? Ask, what is the one thing I need to do next? Not next month, not next year, not your entire life, just the next important step. Because when you focus on your whole future, it can feel too big. But when you focus on the next step, you can actually move, and movement creates confidence. You don't become confident before you take action. You become confident because you keep taking action. You prove to yourself, I said I would do it, and then you do it. That is how discipline grows. That is how success habits are built. Not through one huge change, but through small promises that you keep making to yourself.
So if you're tired, don't immediately call yourself lazy. Ask yourself, what is taking up space in my mind? Maybe there are too many goals. Maybe too many distractions. Maybe too much time on your phone. Maybe too much time comparing yourself to other people. Maybe there is something important that you keep avoiding. Find the noise, then remove one piece of it. You don't need to fix everything today. You just need to make your mind a little quieter, and your next step a little clearer. Because sometimes, you don't need more motivation. You need less noise. You don't need a bigger plan. You need one clear direction. And you don't need to become a completely different person overnight. You just need to stop wasting your energy trying to become everything at once.
One day, you will look back at this part of your life, and you may realize, you were not as far away as you thought. You did not need a perfect plan. You did not need to wait until you felt ready. You needed to stop running in every direction, and finally choose one, because your future is not built in one giant moment. It is built in the quiet moments, when nobody is watching, when you put the phone down, when you stop making excuses, when you do the work, even when you don't feel like it. One focused hour, one useful skill, one small promise, one day at a time. And slowly, the person who felt stuck starts moving, the person who felt tired starts getting their energy back, and the person who thought they needed a completely new life realizes they only needed a clearer mind, a simpler plan, and the courage to take the next step. So tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself one question. What is one thing I can do tomorrow that will make my future a little better? Not 10 things. 1. Then do it, because the life you want is not built by the person you hope to become someday. It is built by the person you choose to be today. And maybe you are not tired because you are weak. Maybe you are tired because you've been carrying too much for too long. So put some of it down, clear your mind, choose your direction, and start again, one step at a time.